my goodness, that is exciting. That is exciting. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all my friends, everybody who is here, who is tuning in on various platforms. I'm going to talk to you about the various platforms I am on right now. I am super, super, super excited. I'm fiddling with my microphone here. So, whichever channel, platform you are listening to me right now, just give me a sign that you can hear me clearly if you are listening. And if you can see me, you can hear me and you can see me. That would be just awesome. So, thank you very much for joining me. Now, this conversation, literally, whichever platform you are listening to, is called different things, different things. So, you might see me as Zsuzsanna Medium Live, Zsuzsanna Mediums Live. You can see it as Let's Talk Spirit on my podcast, on my Podbean podcast, because right now I'm recording my podcast live. Let's Talk Spirit. And I am ultra, ultra, super excited by the whole thing. I tell you, I could not wait to be here and then talk to you about that, because I'm just so very passionate about anything to do with talking about anything to do with spirit and all kind of spiritual conversations. And give me a microphone and then we will take away and we will just go with the conversation. So I've got quite a lot to tell you. I have the cards here, and then if you have been following my conversations, I do not need cards. I tell you what, this is a really ad hoc show. There are no pointers, there are no notes here. I'm not writing any script. I'm not working this way. I am just directly going into my shows. If you have ever listened to any of my conversations, either on the Moose Track TV or Ask for Radio Network or the Pastor Radio podcast or my own podcast, Let's Talk Spirit, you know very well we are just, yes, we are on air. We are just going with everything. So it's all about you talking about, asking about your spiritual life, your spiritual well-being, your spiritual development. Yes, sometimes I give you a card or two, or I give you some direct message, but this is podcast. Let's talk. Come on, and that's why I called it Let's Talk Spirit. So let's just ground ourselves, because I tell you what, I'm super, super excited. The last 2-3 hours right now, I've been really preparing this, updating things, putting things together, trying to share links. So a lot of things are not there, but then here we go. Who cares? Everything will be there when they need to be. But then I wanted to come here. Why? Because now it is the 1st of March 2024. And then, my goodness, the spring is definitely here. I don't know what's going on with me. I know I had a strong chocolate and a strong coffee earlier today. But here we go. Let's just tidy up a few things. So if you are here, thanks for sharing. If you are on TikTok, so let's just sort out who is here, because I'm looking at you lovely ones on TikTok. So thanks very much for being here. Hit the like button, hit the share, hit everything what you can. Sign up, follow, all kind of things. And then over there behind the screen, if you are on my Podbean podcast while I'm recording live, talking into this thing right now, live, very welcome. And if you are listening to me on my podcast page, feel free to comment, because you've got the opportunity to comment, to ask questions, and then engage in the conversation, because that is there for you. Now, I know some of you have been following my podcast the last 2 years. I have recorded some amazing conversations, and I had a long break, but now I want to come back. Why? Because some of us are really just talking and then talking, and I know after a while the conversation switches to spirit talking, giving us guidance, giving us the conversation here. So let's just go with the Podbean conversation. Zsuzsanna Mediums Live, Let's Talk Spirit, and I called it Let's Talk Spirit, come on board, and Let's Talk Spirit, comment your questions, insights, and reflections related to your spiritual journey. So I will keep my eyes on that section over there, and I can see we are on air. I love that red button when it says on air. I tell you what, it just makes my heart thump, and it just gave me the number 444 over there. So it's cool. We are live there. But then here on TikTok, so if you are on Podbean, just notifying you, letting you know I am here on TikTok and talking to my lovely, lovely community. And then I can see the number is 2211. My goodness me, everything is aligning here. 6 views, and my phone is on 51. So my goodness me, I haven't even thought about the numbers here, but it's good to have you here, because I haven't been here on on my TikTok page for a couple of days. But here we go. Let's see. Let's see. I want to acknowledge Anna Maria following the live. So thanks very much for being here. Comment your questions. I will get to people, and if I don't get to ask your question again, okay, because right now I'm not writing names down, because we are just going with the conversation. So this is what I'm doing now. So thank you for being here. If you are new to the page, check out everything which is on the page. I'm a psychic and a medium. I work with the spirit energies, highest consciousness, highest of the highest. We can always bring forward directly without the use of cards or any objects. Although I quite like the oracle cards, not tarot cards, but then the oracle cards, and I also like the historical inquiries, what I call the historical inquiries. So I like psychometry. I like old objects. I can tell you a few very interesting stories when certain objects were verified by the British Museum here in the UK. So that makes my heart again thump, because how the energy is working through centuries. If you are working on a linear timeline, it's absolutely amazing. So here we go. I'm passionate about that. But you can check out all the other conversations. XL Libby X, I can see. Thanks for the follow as well. If you are new to the page, come on board, say hello, let me know where you are from, if you are morning, afternoon, evening, anything for you. And then if you are just joining, thanks for the likes, thanks for the everything follows everything you can see on my TikTok. I start working with you because I'm just talking into the energy, just to see that the two platforms are working together. And then I'm directly recording. So probably I will cut this long intro out of my podcast. It is evening, so thank you. Yes. So if you are here, I'm here in the UK. It is evening. I wanted to come here a little bit earlier, to be honest, but I got away. The whole setting up is kept me quite in queue. So, well, my goodness, we thank you very much. We got something there as well. So thank you for that. So what I want to say, I will read your questions. What I want to say immediately is March. When I get to March, thank you for the roses, lovely ones. Thank you, Anna Maria. Thanks for the roses. What I want to say, the 1st of March, 2024. Now, what Spirit is talking about right now, we'll read your questions, and if you posted your questions, just feel into what the conversation is, because Spirit sees all the questions, even if I cannot read everything at the same time. But then they are talking about that finally, what you have been preparing yourself. You just need to be present to those things, and you need to open your heart and not just your mind, because we have been seeking and searching with our minds. But then we need to be ready to open our heart to receive, open our hearts to receive what is ahead of us, because we have been very blinded and even deafened by not being able to see, or ignoring our heart's energy, not being able to see with our heart's energy, whereas a lot of things have been right in front of us, literally in front of our chest, literally in front of our heart. So what Spirit says, come on then, wake up, wake up. Some of you have already woken up. Some of you already are just in the stage of, oh yes, I'm just waiting for the spring, even metaphorically, the renewal of the energies. And some people might be waking up a little bit later, when it's about June, July, August. But what is really important right now is that calming and quieting the mind, so that the spirit can come through your heart center, your heart energy, and bring forward the conversation, the message, the guidance, what you need to experience. And I'm noticing how my eyes are looking down, not because I don't like looking up, because there are a lot of things in front of me, but then energetically also the energy is expressing itself, that we need to be humble to receive the experiences what we are given. And my goodness me, so often we can just hop, just pull back into our mind, and then we are losing touch with the actual reality. So be humble, be grateful, and be always in the receptive mode, and know that spirit guidance and the highest consciousness, God energies, they can find you. They are looking after you, and then they are holding you in their loving care, in their loving care. And then when I'm saying in their loving care, you need to know that we are every single one of us is part of that beautiful, beautiful energy. So why are we actually questioning ourselves? And why are we actually questioning our differences, the differences what we are experiencing in our lives, or what we are noticing, just because our mind wants to notice the differences between us? We need to put everything behind that. What spirit says that you really definitely need to be humble. You need to keep your eyes down in front of you, what is happening right now in your own life, in your own energy, and then welcome it in your heart and working with that energy right in front of you. And then once you have done substantial amount of work, or at least you are willing to work, then you may raise your head and then ask question with your mind. But before that, you just need to be very, very quiet and welcoming that energy within your heart. Okay, within your heart, because when you are talking, then your voice is going also to change. So here we go, and then the guidance is going to come forward. So I feel that's quite a beautiful, beautiful message now as we get into March 2024. There is a lot of need to reflect. So if you haven't started journaling, if you don't have a little notebook, you just need to find a piece of paper. If you don't have a notebook, any kind of book, or just get a piece of paper, put your papers together, and then start jotting your insights, and not just what you are dreaming about, not just your reflections, your insight, or even your to-do list or shopping list. Mind you, those need to be in a different booklet. But then your dreams, your dreams, what are those energies, what you are very quietly hoping and wishing that one day you will have the strength to open your eyes and open your mind to that possibility that those dreams can come true. And what spirit is asking, why are you hesitating, and why are you pulling yourself out of the picture and allowing many, many other people to do what you are just wishing and hoping and dreaming, or just pondering and reflecting and hoping all your life up to this point? Now the tide is changing. A tide is going to change, and the tide will need to change. And then those of us who are carrying burdens of the past, we need to be really honest with ourselves and realize that that energy, that attitude, and that being, and that way of being, we cannot continue. We cannot carry on our path like that. Otherwise, down the line in time wise, we feel that we have wasted our time. We have wasted our life, and why would we do that? Why would you do that? The time of waiting is over. That surge, that energy which wants to come forward. It's not just because spring is coming, not just because the buds are opening and we are noticing the flowers popping forward and popping up, and then the leaves are coming forward. It's not because that energy, but then the nature of energy is about to grow. And then as we are experiencing our earthly reality, we cannot be in any denial about anything else, rather than welcoming that growth, that surge of energy. And then you are very much part of that. So if in your personal life, if you have any questions here while we are listening on the different platforms, just please reflect on your energy. Please reflect on your time, on your life, that if you feel that you have been very much holding yourself back because you have had lots of concerns because of family members and situations around you, then maybe that is your time. In fact, this is your time that you wake up and you start taking yourself seriously, because there is no other way of moving forward rather than taking yourself seriously. What else would you do with yourself rather than taking yourself seriously? Who is the person? Who is the entity? Who is the energy? You need to explain your own decisions, that you are the only person, you are the only energy. If you are talking of yourself as a separate being, that you are the only one. You need to explain why you are doing things. So in the morning when you wake up, you need to promise yourself, what is the word for myself today? What is my promise to myself for today? And then just see how the opportunities and the energies are opening up for you during the day, and then how much you are able to grow and go forward with that energy, flow with the energy, how much you are allowing yourself to flow during the day. And then maybe from time to time, you might be remembering that you had a promise. You gave your word to yourself in the morning, the very first moment when you wake up, when you open your eyes and you are still in bed and you are breathing and you are gently taking the very first breath of the morning with your consciousness, with your awareness, ready for the day. What was the promise? What was the one word, what phrase, and then what's one sentence you have given to yourself? Today is the 1st of March 2024, and what Spirit says, yes, as we open, the cards are falling in front of me. We are not working with the cards yet, but then the what Spirit says that the options and the opportunities will come into our way very, very quickly, very, very soon, and then use those opportunities to remind yourself that one word or one phrase or one sentence you have given yourself as a promise. What did you promise to yourself in the morning? And then in the light of that, you are going to make your decisions. And then you will be very grounded when you make your decisions, because that is the nature of life, growing and glowing and flowing and moving forward, moving forward. Earlier, we have spoken about the many, many questions, the many, many questions we might have. And the White Spirit says that, yes, we are listening to the questions. Yes, we are enjoying listening to those questions. However, as we are listening to your questions, all the human beings, about 70-80% of the questions are the same questions what we have heard and listened yesterday and last week and last month and the previous years. And many of the previous years, what you feel, how you are measuring your time. Why are you repeating the same questions? When are you going to wake up and start asking different questions? We want to hear different questions because we want to hear you growing and glowing and flowing and moving forward in your own energy and your own time. There is no hesitation. That energy, that the energy of hesitation, you bravely, boldly, you need to breathe into that hesitation and know that that hesitation is coming only from your mind, nothing from nothing else, nothing, none of the other energies are present. That's your own hesitation. Where is the hesitation coming from? It's coming from your own mind. So here we go. Cool, good energies, good conversations. So, my lovely ones here on TikTok, thanks for the shares, thanks for the likes, thanks for the hearts, thanks for the flowers. Let's just do a few readings. Shall we do a few readings? And then, my goodness, in 1.6K, thanks very much. I really appreciate you guys being here. So, let's just do psychic, mediumship, questions related to your life, related to your career, job, hobbies, life cycles, relationships, personal relationships, love questions, not pregnancy questions, because here in the UK, we are not talking about that. We are not talking about financial questions, health related, health pregnancy related questions, and legal questions. And then just be mindful about the questions you are going to ask, because very often we are asking about what is the other person doing, you know. And then if you have been here before, I tend to say, before we ask the question what the other person is doing, just ask what can you be responsible for, where is your responsibility? Why are we asking the questions about the other person? Why is it important to know what the other person is doing and what they are doing? Why don't we ask a question about ourselves? What is our reality? Come on, then. It's 2024, so here we go. Let's do some quick messages so you know this very well. These are not the long readings, but then the questions about your life. So let's see. Lauren, thanks for being here. Your question is, do you have a message for me? What Spirit says, Lauren, that, we are fastening. We are doing things very, very fast. It's quick, and as if we are just running around things, like here or there too. It's like we've got actually not just two, but the three different areas of life, and we are really balancing. And if you understand, last October, November, since that time, you figured out how you can balance things quite easily. You make things work. Sometimes the balance goes this way and that way, but then deep down you feel that you are a little bit bored with the whole thing. And then you are asking, where is my energy? where is my way forward? What is the thing I need to do next? How can I improve on myself? Because it feels like for the outside world, you are showing one energy, but then inside, within your own world, you started asking different questions. And Spirit says, yeah, that is where we want to talk to you, because you are asking that you're not giving. You've got a lot to give, but then what are you doing with yourself? What they are talking about, Lauren, what you were thinking. I need to say what you are trying, or what you try to think about 5 and 7 years ago, and what spaces don't sit too long on those dreams and those ideas. You might find that you will be talking about those things with 2 or 3 people, very close friends, but then right now don't open it in even further, because right now we need the people who are supporting you. You do not need many people, but then those people who are supporting you, just by listening, making a cup of tea, holding the space for you, not with their ideas and then with their verbal contributions, because then you already know what you want. The confidence needs to come a bit forward, because Spirit says that we've been a little bit quiet. Where is her voice? We've been a little bit quiet. We want to hear more. And it also feels like whether you are thinking of your own business or side, what you are doing. I don't like using the word side hustle, side track, but it's more of like a little energy wants to ignite itself. And what Spirit says, yes, we go with that. That is what we want to talk to you about. And what they are saying is that if you bring your energy to yourself, create the path, when we get to April and May, you will think about the whole thing quite differently. And then if you invest in your energy, it's going to lead you through the summer term and going into the September starts feels very fresh to me, if you understand that. If you understand that, Laura. If you understand that, let me know if you understand that, lovely. Because you see how I needed to put my hand in front of my mouth. It feels like as if I'm holding myself back, as if I want to hide my words. And what Spirit says, no, we want to hear. We want to hear. You need to start whispering, saying, singing, writing. The words need to come out. The energy needs to come out, because that is what they want to hear more from. If you are talking about how the energy is going to balance itself, and then how we are giving and taking energy, just get ready with your pockets, because things will be put into your pocket as well when we get to October, November. The harvest is nicely created for you, what Spirit says. If you also understand um, um, if you also understand, Laura, that we've got a grandmother energy. If you understand the lady who feels to me like a grandmother, potentially a great grandmother, a little bit shortened to yourself, but then I'm feeling quite present in my body. And then she comes in as a storm, and then we would know that she's in the room, and then she would have a lot on her chest, a lot in her hands and arms and mind and heart, and she is just here to tell us everything, because that is what she wants. That is what she likes doing. It's like coming in as a storm, if you understand that. A short lady, I'm feeling quite strong in my body, even larger than how I am. And then she comes in, but then she's giving you the wink here, because she knows the quick ways, she knows the solutions, she knows the fast track things. It feels like she would go along with a conversation with everybody in the room. She would nod. She would say yes, and she would just watch more, observe everything and everybody in the room. But then at the same time, she would say, come on then, I tell you the real stuff. I show you how you need to do that. This is what she's doing. My grandmother was my life, absolutely, because she's just so overly present. Because I mean, she's so very excited. I'm feeling cold with her energy. Suddenly I'm feeling cold. So if you understand with your grandma, she not liking the cold, because I've observed, I feel I am in the winter time, and my fingers are frozen, and I'm feeling really holding myself together. So it's not me, Zsuzsanna, who's feeling cold here, but then with her I'm feeling, it's like suddenly I need to be a little bit, need to look after myself. I need to keep things in front of me. Now whether you also understand the link with island, because I'm seeing a picture here. She's showing me picture, and then also she's talking about potatoes, and with the potatoes I needed to go with island. That is what she's showing me. Lola says yes. Lola says yes. Thank you very much. She's saying that just watch out because your time is here. Now, if you can see me, she's pointing. Watch out because your time is here. We are not joking ourselves. We are taking ourselves seriously. And then we are not allowing ourselves to be pushed here and there because she's not going to have it. She's not going to have it. She's going to come forward. She's giving you the green light and the red light. So you will feel that sometimes you just have to go with this surge of energy, and then you will be in action. But other times you will feel that, oh, I need to be quiet because she's giving you the red light. We are not doing anything. Right now we need to be quiet. She said that February had to go really quite quickly, and that had to go very quickly out of your energy. It's like, oh, let's not talk about that. You know how the whole year started, January and most certainly February. But what she says that, oh, we can start breathing into March onwards, and you definitely need a holiday. So if you can organize something for yourself, you don't have to wait for the summer term, but then do it before. Do it beforehand. You need to have the holiday. She's also talking about a brother, but now, as I want to say brother, I need to also say sister. So let's just sort out whether we've got the brothers and the sisters. If you understand, so it's like I put you like you yourself, and then I need to acknowledge a brother and then a sister over there. A brother and then a sister over there. So right now I'm curious whether she's talking about some other section of the family, because her mind is so busy with sorting out the other family members, because it feels like we've got a lot of people, and she wants to remember who is who, like who is who. While you're answering this question here, because we got a little brother, and then a sister over there. So the sister energy, so whether we have a sister or somebody who feels like a sister to us, is over there. So whether that person is emotionally distant from us or geographically living over there, or we had that separation energy, as we are not seeing eye to eye or not talking, and she's shaking her head, what is going on. So if you understand the sister or a friend or somebody who felt like a sister to us, it felt like a sister to us, because she says that the peace needs to come back and establish the peace. Now, I go back to your energy. If you understand, I'll give you one piece of information before I close this conversation. If you understand, with this grandma towards the end, we are feeling confused in the mind. You have a brother, thank you, and a little brother, because this is how I was hearing, and the little brother, this is how she's showing. But then if you understand, with this lady towards the end, we feel the confusion, and as if you are drifting in and out of reality, and then as if she still wants to remember everything and everybody, and she's talking about what she needs to do, but then it feels like the days and the nights are the same, and we are not stopping talking because the whole thing is just one blurry thing. I'm feeling quite spaced out with her energy towards the end. Do you understand that, please? Towards the end, it's like, oh, suddenly life is suddenly I don't know where life is. Suddenly I don't know what's going on. And it's like as if in her head hearing the echo of everything up to that moment. If you understand the lady having a fall, and I'm hurting my head, and then it has the head, I'm hurting my head, but then at the same time the heart is doing something a little bit unusual. But then she's showing me that moment. If you understand that, thanks for the follow, guys. Thanks for the follow and then like, lovely ones. So Laura, if you understand with the lady, if you understand that with the lady, if you understand that with the lady, that having a fall, a physical fall, and I'm hurting my head, and it's like my head is hurting, and I need to feel the energy on my left side. If you understand that, left side, and then half the floor. Oh, she fell. Both grandmothers fell. Bless you. Yes, because this is what she's talking about, how the head was impacted, the left side of the forehead and then the side, and as if she's holding her hand there and trying to cover it. And that's she doesn't really want to talk about that, because this wasn't her who would be falling. Wouldn't be, and then it wouldn't be her who's falling. And she says that if she could change it, if she could do something about that, she would not have fallen there, but it feels like a split moment. The control was lost. Now she's talking about your dad as well, and talking about giving you a key. There is a conversation how she needs to talk about your dad, but what she says at the conversation video, that is a different conversation. If it's my dad's mother, let's see if she's going, because I'm curious. If you understand the name Amelia, or Malia, if there is any name like that, Amelia or Malia, not Melanie, but Amelia, that is the energy. And then she's also giving us the 5th and the 9th of October as someone's birthday, passing, and celebration, if you understand that. First week of October. She's also giving you the number 19, the year 1971 and 1975, if you understand. My mom's mother name is Myrtle. 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 Thank you for the name. So I don't want to make it fit, but it's somehow I'll give 50-50, because that was needed to say the name, but I could not really say the name. So it's I take it as a yes, I don't want my dad's mother is Catherine. No, it's not Catherine. We are going with the M's name, the M's name. Do you understand the year 1971 and 1975, please? 1971 and 75, please. 1971 and 75. I love the way, when we have these beautiful energies come forward. And I know I started this conversation with, no, you don't. Okay, no, you don't. Let's just park those ones. I still need to go for the 1970s, 1974. I'll give you one more. So I'm not guessing, but then I still need to be there. So please make a note on that, and you can get back to me, because then she's adamant. She says that we need to remember. She says that we need to remember things better than how we do. Okay, so 1971, 74, 75, she says, Let's see, one more piece of information. Would you understand herself or part of the family, somebody like some family, okay, on her side, who lived close by a cemetery, please? Cemetery, because we are passing and it's always there. It's on my left side. You say, no, I don't. That's absolutely fine. I just give you what spirit is giving me. Because then she's going to have a conversation like, oh, why? What are we doing with the dates there? I'm going to give you 79, so please check out what was happening in the 70s. Okay, but would you understand the conversation with the cemetery? Her living close to a cemetery, or a family member, or she's on the way to somewhere, but then the cemetery is close to us on my left side. Okay, I need to acknowledge that energy. But otherwise, she's bringing this light-hearted energy. I want to have more concrete stuff from her here. Also, being the left-handed, whether it's you or her, who is the left-handed here, because it feels like, okay, with being the left-handed, she's talking about you because she's the one who's picking, like a little bit picky, a little bit choosy, wants to be very specific, and wants to do everything to the top of your abilities before you make actually a decision or take actions. My mom's brother. So you understand the mom's brother is left-handed. Thank you. Okay, but you understand the conversation with her. But I feel that she's talking about more of metaphorically, like picking, because I'm noticing my hand is picking things here. If you understand the cemetery, I'm curious who lives close by the cemetery. As I pass, I see the cemetery. I pass the cemetery. I know a cemetery is on my left side there. Let's find who has the cemetery laying there. Okay, let's see. I feel with the lady herself being quite ahead of her time. I feel that she would have gone, ahead of the conversation with other people. But then a lot of times she would know that, oh, they are just talking, and oh, lovely, they are just talking, and they don't know the meaning of life. But then she says that I cannot really talk to them too much because they are not really listening. They are not really understanding. And she's also talking about a brother to herself as well. So what you are saying, my mom's brother is left-handed. My mom's brother stays close to Muizenberg Cemetery. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, I need to make a screenshot on that because I appreciate, because I feel that there is the cemetery link, because I am seeing a picture and I want to see whether I'm objectively I'm seeing. I want to know whether I'm seeing the objectively that cemetery there. So I tell you what, I'll just give you one more thing here. The ones who are listening on my Podbean podcast, live podcast, thank you for joining me. I am also broadcasting on my TikTok page and doing live reading. So if you are listening on my TikTok page, on my podcast page, as you are commenting, you can ask a question or just read the comments, the main comments there, and I welcome your contribution and you being here and tuning in. So wonderful. We got people listening here as well. So that's going to be available as a podcast here. So the cemetery link is important. I'm very intrigued by that. As I started at the beginning, having the historical conversations, historical inquiries. Um, let's see one more thing, and then just noticing, Laura, I'm just noticing if you can see me on my TikTok, as if my hand is above you and wants to go higher up, and then what your grandma is doing, that taking the clouds above your head, taking the concerns above out of your head, because she says it's like I have to come here, pinch and take it out, and my goodness me, she's still thinking about I need to pinch it out. So she's helping to sort out your conversations and concerns out of your head one by one, because she says that all these things could have stayed in the past, most certainly. If you remember last year, March and April time, and we've been still thinking about those concerns and conversations, because what she says, she wants you to walk taller, walk shoulders back, walk higher, walk taller, and then take a breath, and then taking the fresh air in. So yes, I can see. So I tell you what, thanks very much for being here and allowing me to work with your energy and being here. I tell you what, this is very interesting. So thank you very much. Now, so I'm going to um, on your way, and let me know how everything is coming forward for you. Remember what she was talking about at the very beginning. Miss Orange says, amazing, thanks very much. And Laura says, that was extremely powerful. I tell you what, thanks very much for being here. You know what? I'm really excited because we had this beautiful grandmother. My goodness, it's like a full-size grandmother, that energy who walks into your room and walks into any room, and then would take the thunder, bring the thunder, and most certainly would shake up everything and everybody on her way, just because that was her energy. And how beautiful. Actually, I'll give you a little insight here. When I'm doing the mediumship readings and live readings, especially when I was doing my radio show on the Aswa Radio Network, I remember that the energy, what I was feeling just before the show, very likely the person whose energy I would be working with during the show when we had live callers, that energy would match that energies, that spirit's energies, how the energy was in my own physical reality created, that would measure reality of that person more than once, very, very, in fact, very, very often. So I quite like her energy now, because I was just jumping into this podcast here. So very, very passionately starting my conversations again and channeling out or doing things on different channels here. So I'm actually not surprised that we had this lady coming forward, and so much. I feel that so that is what I want to say. If you haven't got a message up to this point, feel her energy, because she's there to shake up everybody. And then she's there to meet everybody in the room and tell a conversation, tell a little insight, patching up, feeding you, giving you a drink, sorting this one out, telling you stop it, telling you are talking about talking nonsense, all those things. So and then I'm grateful for that name, that Mirth. I've to look up again. So here we go. I tell you what, little. So thank you very much, Laura, for being here. Stay tuned and follow, everything what you can do here on TikTok. And thanks very much for the likes and everything, lovely ones. Now I will read your questions. I continue reading your questions. I want to pop to my Podbean people who are listening to my podcast. Sweet Angel Bear 37. Thanks for being here. I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you here. And I know this is a live conversation there. This is not the recorded ones. Mind you, I'm recording, so it's going to be here. If you missed the beginning, come back and listen to the beginning of the conversation, how we got to this point. And thanks for liking the show, because I tell you what, let's talk spirit. So you can ask a question, my lovely ones. I will sort out the whole how people can call in and everything on my Podbean through my podcast conversation, because this afternoon I was updating things. You have thanks very much. You have thanks very much, because I have updated things, so we will do more things here on my Podbean, and whether you are listening on Podbean or any kind of other platforms. Thanks for being here. Let me know how it resonates with you. This podcast is called Let's Talk Spirit. I'm not, I don't know which series this one is. So I'm not giving any number to that. But then if this is the first time, come back to my Podbean page and listen to the other conversations. And this is the very first time you are here. I'm a psychic and medium. I work directly with spirit. I absolutely love what are these ones? The oracle cards, but I don't use cards. I don't use tarot cards, but I love the other cards or angel cards. But then we are working directly with the energy. So this is what we are doing, and I also empower people, teach the things I am really passionate about, and teach from my own experiences and insights. And sometimes that might go a little bit against of other things, but then here we go. This is life. We are just going for this is like a savvy psychic. How I call it. It just came to me. Savvy psychic. Why not? You do the same. You do the same, my lovely ones. You do the same. You give yourself what is the word coming to you about yourself, about your life in the morning when you are waking up, catch it, and then see how life is opening up for you and opportunities open up for you. Thanks very much for the roses there as well. So here we go. Shall we do a reading? Shall we just work with somebody else now? There was a question about, hang on, Miss Orange. Do you do spirit led at all? I do, yes. I do. If you're asking about channeling energies, higher dimensional energies, yes. Now, if I say that my old Facebook page, so I don't want to talk about that, but I lost that page, I lost the community, but then there are some really incredible conversations there. So you could check that one out or stay on board here, because how I started this conversation, that, we start a conversation. You might know me as a person who sits here like many other who's doing readings, but I know that sometimes the energy switches itself, and then we are giving a different conversation here. And then I know when I'm feeling the energy and then types of conversations, I know it's not my conversation, because I'm not thinking about those things, mostly not the physics and what is happening in the outer space, and then the whole energy of the earth. So here we go. All the Pleiadians and all those beautiful energies, and oh my goodness me, Christ energy, bless. We are guided and protected. My goodness me, we just need to show up for our own life. Here we go. Right. So answering to your question, yes, absolutely. Sometimes when I'm in a Zoom conversation, so it's more of all of us here. I absolutely love your name, Miss Orange, because some time ago my nickname was Miss Orange, so some of my friends knew me that way. But here we go. How do we get a reading? So, Amelia, if you are here live, when I do live readings, I can read your question and I work with your energy. Alternatively, everything is in my bio section on my website and my link tree section. So, podcast people, my website, you know this very well, SzuzsannaMedium.com. It's ZSUZSANNA medium.com. This is how you can find me. how you can find me, and you can find things there as well. Join me if you are on podcast. If you can see, well, it's right now is like recorded, but here we go. I will bring the whole recorded things all together, so everything will be one day, everything will be one day on one place, and that's an exciting thing here. So here we go. Let's just do some readings. Amelia, you're welcome. Let's just do some readings here. I love when we are talking about how we can improve ourselves, you know? Sometimes there are a lot of questions about what's going on with that person over there, you know, and I always say I can ask many questions of what is happening the other person over there, my ex's ex, what's going on with them, but then it's Cassandra. Good to have you. Yes. But then the real question is how we can be responsible for our own reality. You know, what are we doing with our lives? And then we can think about the other one. Why don't we switch things around? You know, this is a wonderful thing, you know, because if you are a procrastinator, like sometimes I can be, or I don't know how we can label ourselves, and we realize that actually we can take actions early in the morning, take one or two or three things, and then it gives us a big boost of confidence and energy to go on and do something else. But then most certainly feel differently about ourselves. So why don't we do that, you know? Maybe we can talk about these kind of things. If you are on my podcast, the one question I set up is really, what is your question? You know, what is your question? Comment your questions, insights, reflections related to your spiritual journey. Now, you know, while I'm here, I tell you what, I haven't launched, but I'll give you a little hint. Since you are all here, no, this is the next greatest thing I'm doing here is that if you have that's an invitation for all of you, no? If you have a story, an insight, an insightful moment, anything, a life changing event or anything happened to you on your spiritual path, or you as a spiritual being, you as a person who is alive, something great insight happened to you, maybe a dream or anything, write it down in, let's say, like 2 paragraphs, or record it, voice record. If you voice record, I can include it in my podcast. Now, this is what we are doing. So record it, and then send it to my website, or to our website, hello@zsuzannamedium.com. You can find the link in any channel you are listening to right now, hello@zsuzannamedium.com. You send it to me, and the recording needs to be in English, properly talking, so no swearing, those kind of things, just very tell with your own words what happened, what was a life-changing moment. Maybe you I'm not going to give you the words, but then you know what I mean. Anything which was really life-changing for you, and then you feel it somehow contributed to greater awareness in your life. Maybe it, made changes in your life as a result of that. So send that to me, because if I can hear you, if it's a clear recording, I want to include it in my podcast. And then also I want to write about that. So that is what my invitation is about. You don't need to give me your name. You can tell me where you are based, proxy, what country, and then proxy your age, and that's it. You do not need to give me anything else. And then the information, I'm going to keep it for about a year. I haven't written it out, but then for about a year, but then I'm keeping everything anonymously. So it's all there, but I'm going to write it out and you will hear more about that. But I'd like to include your story, your conversation in my podcast, and as well as writing things down, because I'm interested, what is making us sick in our own century, or if some of us were born before, but what is making us sick? What is the whole spiritual community, spiritual life, being alive, awareness, having our awareness, what made us wake up, realizing certain things. Maybe you had a big spiritual awakening. Maybe you experienced a great loss and then somehow changed your life, and then you found some insights and you got clarity on your life. What was that? Tell me. Record it, and send it to me to hello@zsuzannamedium.com. I would love to hear from you. And then you never know, maybe I'm going to interview you somewhere, because this is what I love to do. Sharing. Why are we sharing this? Because you never know who is going to resonate with somebody else's with your conversation. If we have only one person who's resonating, we have already made a difference out in the world. And then that's just one conversation and one day. And then imagine if you continue doing that. Let's Talk Spirit, this conversation, this podcast is about sharing the space, not just me telling you about certain things, how to journal and what to do and all those things, but then let's share the space. Come on board. Let's Talk Spirit. Comment your questions, insights, and reflections related to your spiritual journey. Here we go. Right. So, shall we do some readings? Now, if you are on my podcast, listening on my podcast, my goodness me, guys, I really, really appreciate you being here. I haven't been here on my podcast, haven't done much, but then this afternoon I upgraded the thing, and I'm creating different things. You want to be on board with this. Because if you are coming on board and being in my team on my podcast series, just check out the advantages, check out everything what I put out there. This conversation that I'm offering, guidance and a group session and a coaching session, a group coaching session that's available for you as well. So check it out there. I know different. We are working on different platforms, but then it's so beautiful to reach so many of you. And then on my podcast, as you are listening, excuse me, as you are listening, thanks for your likes, because I can see the hearts there as well. So check out what is there. Check out what is there, and follow the request. Send me an email to hello@zsuzannamedium.com. And all right, okay. So there is one question there. Wonderful. Okay, let me just work with your energy as well. So light bright. Okay. I need some messages concerning work and career. Okay, so so I don't know your name, but I'm reading your question. What Spirit says that try not to take things seriously. It feels like the last 2-3 months. So as I work with you, my request is please engage with the conversations. Give me a yes or a no, or I don't understand. Okay, so that I know we are on track with the conversation. So I work with your energy here. Okay, if you are okay with that. If I work with your energy, cool, lovely. Okay, so the message is concerning work and career. So what Spirit was saying, don't take things as seriously, and then not that concern of what you are hanging on to right now, because it feels like the last 2-3 months have been really, really heavy. I use the word heavy, and then as if we are really stuck, and then as if we are just really stuck in that snow or the mud, and it's like so stuck they can't even move. And it's what it feels to me is that as if you have tried to move into different direction, this direction, that direction, trying to do things this way and then that way, and then as if nothing was really good enough or acknowledged or appreciated, and then you are just doing the thing, but then it's like anybody could be doing that, or anybody could be there, and then you feel that your soul is really lost in the current situation. What Spirit says, it's really up to you how long you are holding yourself in that energy, because what they say, if you really gather your energy, okay, if you really pull yourself, that it would not take you for many weeks or a very long time. Excuse me. That's your conversation. You need to speak up. It would not take you that much time to pull yourself out of the current situation, because of what Spirit says, that you have been holding yourself back for quite too long, for quite too long, and then really making yourself really invisible. Do you understand that, Lariva? Do you understand that? Give me a yes or a no, or I don't know. Because yes, okay, wonderful, thank you. Because what Spirit says, what was the conversation? They are bringing me this conversation. What was the conversation also male, with the male energy. What is the male energy? What was the conversation with the male about September, October, November? It really, really pulled our plug, gave you confidence, pulled your confidence, which was really unfair because you were there to listen to that person. You were there with all your might, all your energy. You have shared resources, your advice, even the what you have created in your mind. So your own intellectual ability. You shared a lot, but then it was when it was your turn, there was nobody to be found. And what Spirit says that even the family, where are they? Because around you, the energy feels very much like an echo, echo. We are looking for the people. And what Spirit said, if you are not finding the people around you who are supporting you and helping you, then maybe it's the time that you pull yourself out of the whole conversation. And then have that courage and make the leap and have the faith because you know very well that there is something. The grass is over there on that field is much brighter, and you know it very well. You know it very well. You say yes, okay, thank you. Now one more thing I give you here, because it feels like from spirit consciousness there's a male, so it's a brother, whether it's a brother or a father, energy or grandfather, but somebody is very directly to the point, just matter of fact talking to you. That is what it feels like. They're also making me speak very fast here with you. The confidence, yes, we wanted to say something about the confidence. The confidence. Well, they are showing me that this gentleman in spirit, if you understand the name beginning with Joseph, Jonas, Jake, James, it's more of a J O. Okay, so I give you the Jonas, John, John, Joseph. Those energies, if you understand that energy, that name, because that person is so fed up by witnessing what is going on around you, because then nobody answered to your call when you needed assistance or help, not as if you are asking assistance and help very often, but then when you asked, nobody was there. And then he says, I can't believe that, why didn't you pack up earlier? The funny, what I want to give you is that he's giving me this suitcase and it's an empty one, and he said then that he would be ready to pack you up and taking you somewhere better, meaning that what is your solution, what you are going to do with the Joel. Thanks for the name. Yes, thank you. Joel, Joel. Lovely. Thanks for the confirmation. Thank you. Because it's like he wants to pass my ear and he wants to talk to you over there. I can't see your face. I don't know who you are, lovely one. But we are here live on my podcast recording this. But then that person was just so very, because he's saying that why am I wasting time with all the other words? Why am I talking to you? Because he definitely, it's very directly, clearly wants to come forward. Watch out for your sense of listening. So I need to just, use my arms here, my hands, because what this gentleman is saying, watch out for the listening, So if you are in a situation when you feel it's too much, like literally too much is going on, too many sounds, everything is going on, but then you listen, because out of the chaos there will be a very gentle breeze touching my left ear, that's your left ear touching your left ear, and then the guidance is going to be given, and it's very likely to be that walk away, go away, take yourself over there, like one or two words. That is what he's saying. If you understand March the 16th and the 18th and the 19th, he's talking about that one. He wants you to open your calendar and make a note on that, as if we are circling 16th and 19th of March for you here. And then he's also giving you the holiday he needs to have. So what he said, that you need to have the holiday before Easter and after Easter, somewhere around that time, but don't delay it for too long, and then make that holiday for yourself, give it to yourself, not for somebody else. So whether it's a child or any people, anybody else around you, you try to do something for yourself, bit by bit by bit by bit. You are building up your confidence there. That's what he's saying. Let me see if he's giving me something as a change of scenery. Okay, this gentleman is talking about the change of scenery. He's showing me different sides, as if I am watching a film and the next episode is starting, and he says, I want to see the next episode, because I know that the things are happening in that episode, but then it's like we are still haven't changed he's showing me this old type of film, when they had to change the actual film, and this is the old one is just running. In fact, they cannot really change into the new one, because we are still running the old. The old is got stuck. It's got stuck, you know. So that is his. I want to say one more. I'm asking for one more. You say yes. Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. He's, let's see if he's saying saying the build better, not the house. It's because actually he's showing me building the house. It's showing me a 2-3 story house, and it's just the brick and mortar is built. It's not even painted, or not the windows and the doors are not in. So whether the gentleman knew, I feel that he would be very proud building or talking about the building, how we are building. So whether he was a builder or he knew how to build, but then that is the energy what I'm feeling with him. But then he's saying that you need to have the bigger dream, because he wants you to build those dreams, and then definitely look forward to 5 and 7 years. And then it's, if you were here earlier and if you are watching on TikTok right now, I was talking about humbly receiving the guidance, holding our head down. As I'm talking to you, you cannot see me if you are listening on my podcast, but my head is down in front of me on my table. Here, down. And then what this gentleman is saying to you, that we've been keeping ourselves so down here, the head down, not giving the eye contact, really keeping ourselves so limited and so wrapped ourselves in. Um, and then the confidence. He wants to see the confidence blossoming. He's offering you just one more thing. He's offering you roses, not the cut roses, but then the bushes, and then the roses are white and red. If you understand, white and red roses. Joy was my father, and he built houses his whole life. So this is what we get as confirmation. Thanks very much for the confirmation, lovely one, because he wanted to is like, I'm standing in front of this this building. It has 3 stories. I see the roof, and I know this is the front of the building. I see the bricks. I see the door. It's a symmetrical thing. I see the windows. Um, and then right now they are trying to do the chimneys. They are probably like sort of putting the chimneys. They are doing something on the chimney, and then he's looking at the house from the front and taking the whole thing in. And it's like, now I am here, a settler. That is what he's showing. He's very proud, and I quite enjoy that process. That is the energy what he's bringing forward. He's giving you the strength in your heart. Okay, if you are understanding, he's giving you the strength in your heart, in your arm. And also what you can do. Okay, what he says, what you can do, you lift yourself. So if we like sitting, or we sit down, or we keep ourselves in a sitting position, even physically in that position, he's picking you up. He's picking you up, and now stand up, and then do, and go after things. And he's going to be around your ears, watching that you are not listening to anybody's conversations, because then he has had enough of all those conversations. And then he wants to have a chat with you, so that he wants to make sure that you are taking yourself seriously. So here we go. So that was another little chit chat, and thanks for allowing me to work with your energy. Also, he's feeding you up and helping you to make better choices, different choices with your food. So thanks very much, Lovey, for being here. I do not know your name, but you are very welcome. Thanks for being here, and thanks for supporting my page, my lovely ones. My lovely ones, my voice. So, this is what we are going to do, because normally I would have a lot of like very fast, rapid, quick readings. If you are on TikTok, you know how I work. But then today the conversation was different, because I just wanted to come here and honestly just see how the two platforms are working together. That is my TikTok page and my podcast page. The podcast, what you can find on Podbean, and everything is Zsuzsanna Medium, or the podcast actually is called Let's Talk Spirit. And right now I know it is being aired. You see, my voice is going, excuse me, aired on different channels. So I will figure out where this is really going out, or what's going there, or what's happening there. If you are on any of my pages, check out check out my links, check out my website, check out my Linktree page. If you are in part of any of the memberships I set up on any of the platforms, please check out those ones. I want to know about my work. I will talk to you. I'll tell you what, I can read another question, QSS, and so on. I don't read out your whole name. If I did not get to you, please make sure that you follow the page, follow these conversations, because I will have the recorded, the normal podcast, and then also I will continue with the live chats, just like a radio show, which is not. I'm quite familiar with those ones as well. So here we go. So if I did not get to you, any of you here with any message, I do apologize. Make sure that you follow the page. Oops, resume live. Make sure that you follow the page and come back another time. And I'd love to talk to you. Otherwise, check out the various memberships, different groups you can join, and I would be happy to. I would be happy to work with you. I know TikTok sometimes buffers, but here we go. So, my lovely ones, thanks for being here. Take a comfortable breath and then breathe out. Breathe out. Oh, it's really buffering. Breathe out. Breathe out. And oh, something is going on my page. And then just make sure that you are back to this reality and enjoy your day or morning or afternoon, wherever you are. So thanks very much for being here. Check out all the recordings and pages, and sending you lots of love and many, many blessings on whatever page you have been listening and tuning in. And this was our show. This is our chit chat. Let's talk spirit, with your participation, contribution, and your energy, for which I'm very grateful. So here we go. Have a good day, and chatting to you very, very soon. And voila.